Hi there, and welcome to this week's edition of Top End Track Talk. I'm Andrew O'Toole, and today we'll be previewing the final meeting of the year here in Darwin, which will be Saturday, the 18th of December. Due to this fixture being the third successive Saturday meeting held at Fanny Bay, and with the weather being very trying on the horse population, the fields are a little on the light side, but 34 horses have still accepted and all are expected to run. Once again, the Lightning Wet Season Series Heat will be keenly contested, and that event will be the day's opener, the TAB Lightning Series Handicap for 0 to 64 gallopers, and it's over 1,300 metres. It's time to go at 2:44 p.m, with the last of the 5 races at 5:16 p.m. In the first, my numbers are 3, 1 and 4. Good race to start the day, the Lightning Series Heat. Been keenly contested, as we mentioned, and getting down to, we're getting halfway through the series now. Of course, that final to be run here on Australia Day. In the opener, as I mentioned, 3, 1 and 4, my numbers. 3 on top for me, El Sicario, a deserved winner last time out here. That was the 4th of December for trainer Pat Johnson, and Adam Nichols rode on that occasion. He takes the mount again. That was over 1,100. The step up to 1,300 metres won't worry big El Sicario. He's won at this trip before from only 5 starts, and he's racing really well, the big fellow, and I can see him being very hard to beat again on Saturday. In for second, another very much in form horse, number 1, Overruled for Emma Steele, and Stan Sakos goes on. Adam rode the horse last week, but he'd already committed to El Sicario, he tells me, so I'm sure Stan will have great glee jumping back on the very much in form Overruled. Won well here last week, beating Sweet Chevelle. Backing up, and that was 1,200, the step up to 1,300. A little bit of an unknown for Overruled. Hasn't won at the trip from 3 starts, but has run a couple of placings and racing so well, has to be right in the mix. And in for third, number 4, Rich Sun. Gary Clark trains, Jared Todd aboard. Only had the 1 start in Darwin, that was the 4th of December, and even though only 4th on that occasion behind the smart Bell's banner, I thought it showed enough to give it a chance here. So in the day's opener, 3, 1 and 4. The second's the Bolton Rex Handicap. I think Bolton Rex have got a function here on Saturday, so good luck to the team there with Bolton Rex. There's over 1,300 for the 0 to 58 gallopers. Numbers here, 7, 1 and 3. I tipped him last week, and I'm not going to drop off him. Number 7, Jet Jackson, trained by Mark Nine and Sonia Wiseman aboard. That was the first start for the horse in the top end. It was only over 1,000 metres, but the way he hit the line behind the smart Razoo, I thought was pretty good. Only beaten 6 lengths, finished 4th. That was 1,000. This is 1,300 metres, and I think that will make all the difference to Jet Jackson. Really hit the line with gusto, and I think he can break through it at the second time of asking here in the top end. So number 7 on top for me. To beat the obvious danger, number 1, Cowley's Creek, trained by Nicole Irwin and Vanessa Arnott aboard. Dropping dramatically back in grade. Its last 2 starts have been in benchmark 76 and 0 to 70 company, and been placed in both. Only has to reproduce that sort of form, be very hard to beat here. And in for third, number 3, Mr. Boom Jangles. He looks to be getting back to somewhere near his best form. He was good here a week ago, finishing 2nd behind Noble War. That was 1,300. This is 1,300 again. He likes this trip, and he'll be right in the mix for Gary LaFoe and Paul Shires. So in the second, 7, 1 and 3. The third's the Tab Alongmo we play, Trobus Maiden. It's for the non-winners, and it's over 1,200 metres. Numbers here are 3, 5 and 1. Gets his chance, I think, number 3, Cometh the Hour, from the Gary LaFoe stable. Paul Shires takes the mount. He's only had 3 starts in Darwin, for a second, 2 seconds in fact, and a 4th. And last time out on the 4th of December, finished 2nd behind Manor Jim. Manor Jim had taken quite a number of runs to break through, but did so in good style. And I thought Cometh the Hour, beaten 1.3 lengths, was a coming winner, and I think gets its chance this Saturday. So number 3 on top. To beat number 5, Malibu Edition, trained by Tom Logan, Sonia Wiseman aboard, having its 2nd Darwin outing. Its first one finished 5th behind Manor Jim, beaten only 6 lengths. The step up and trip certain to suit Malibu Edition. Got home quite strongly in that first up run, so I've got it in to run 2nd. And in for 3rd, number 1, And a Man, Phil Cole and Wayne Davis, the combo. Good run last time out here. That was back in November, the 13th of November, behind Chili Bean. Has taken a number of starts and still a maiden, 16 starts for a 2nd and a 3rd, but has to go in the multiples here. So in the third, 3, 5 and 1 are the numbers. The fourth's the Sky Racing Handicap. It's our top rated race of the day, the benchmark 76. Over the 1200 metres, only a field of half a dozen to face the starter here, and Gary Clark holds the key. He has half the field, and my numbers are 1, 3 and 4. I'm actually tipping Clarkie to run the trifecta here. Number 1 on top, Syncline. Jared Todd aboard, has had 2 wins from his last 3 starts, Syncline, and that last start winning effort was on the 20th of November, beat Pembroke Castle on that occasion. He's a pretty smart galloper, you've heard me talk about him before, and even with 60 kilograms and the rest have all got 55, I think he's the best horse in the race and he'll be winning. 1 on top, Syncline. To beat the stablemate number 3, Dizzy Miss Lizzie, Sonia Wiseman aboard. Good run last week behind Vunavalu, finished 3rd. She's a very handy mare on her day and should be hardest for her stablemate to beat. And then for third, the third of the Clark trio, Captain Hedderwick, number 4. Wayne Davis aboard. He's won his last 2 over 1600 and 1300. The drop back to 1200 probably not ideal, but he does possess a big finish and he'll be chasing hard behind his stablemates, I'm sure. So in the fourth, the numbers are 1, 3 and 4. The last, the Advanced Clean Air Handicap. They do a lot of the work around the aircons here at the Darwin Turf Club. Advanced Clean Air, Dean Gibbard and the team. So this race named after Advanced Clean Air. This is the benchmark 54. It's over 1100 metres. Numbers here, 2, 6 and 4. Could be a good finish to the day for the Clark stable. Gary leading the premiership as you would expect at this time of the year. He's about 9 or 10 wins clear. I think he might be 10 wins clear of Phil Cole and going as well as always. And he puts the polish on La Triola here, or La Trioli, to be ridden by Jared Todd. Fresh up, this little grey mare, hasn't raced since winning at Catherine on the 14th of August. But I'm sure that if Gary's got La Trioli in work at the present time in these oppressive, humid conditions, she must be showing him plenty, and I've got her on top to win fresh up. Ahead of number 6, Toorak Road, to be trained by Chris Pollard. Just not sure of the rider there at the present time for Toorak Road. Could well be Sonia Wiseman, just not sure. And Toorak Road racing well, 2 4ths, 2 3rds his last 4 starts. Good third here last week behind Razoo. He is sure to be there or thereabouts. And then for third, number 4, another fresh runner, Wild Rover, trained by Gary Lafoe. Paul Shires aboard. Hasn't raced since late August. He's only had the 2 starts in Darwin, been well supported in both, but disappointing in both. So maybe with that spell and the fresh up nature of his run this week, he could show something like his best form, number 4. So in the last, 2, 6 and 4 are the numbers. Best bet of the day comes up in race 4, number 1, Syncline. I don't think it'll be any flash price, but he certainly looks the hardest to beat in that small field where Gary Clark holds the key. So race 4, number 1, Syncline. Well, the best roughies in race 2, number 5, Really Swish. Didn't mind its first up run the other day. So race 2, number 5, Really Swish. Well, that wraps up this edition of Top End Track Talk and also concludes our Track Talk episodes for 2021. We'll be back again in a fortnight's time in advance of the first meeting of 2022, which of course will be Saturday, the 1st of January, New Year's Day. Have a great Christmas, have a safe and happy one, and we'll see you in 2022. Until then, good luck and good punting.